Tell us about what got you involved. I mean, you were a teacher before, I think, and then you become an activist. What made you do that?
Yeah, I saw the death of Mike Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, and I was called to action. I used to teach sixth grade math, which was an incredible job, and they killed a kid. Mike Brown was a teenager, and I was like, I'll do whatever I can to make sure this doesn't happen. What I know now is that a third of all the people killed by a stranger in the United States is actually killed by a police officer, which is sort of wild. So it's been a long fight. It's 5 years this August to when the protests began.
What did you do? I mean, when you decided you needed to do something, what did you decide you needed to do?
Yes, I was one of the many people on the street, and I also had one of the biggest platforms in the United States. I was the most referenced person in the world during the protests, but I was one of many people who stood in the street and sort of pushed back. We were in the street for 400 days, you know. It was illegal to stand still in August, September, and October of 2014. If we stood still for more than 5 seconds, we were arrested, which is really wild. Come a long way, but got a lot of work to do.
So it was what, physical resistance and on-street protests? Yep. And mobilization.
Yep, and the protests didn't spread all across the country because in 2014, people thought there was a problem in Ferguson. They didn't realize there was a problem in America. And like over time, people realized like, wow, like the police are actually killing a lot of people. So how do we actually get to a system of accountability and justice? And that's what we've been working towards.
Has it managed to stop it?
Not stop it. You know, I do think that people confuse a change in conversation with a change in outcomes. Mm-hmm. The police killed more people in 2018 than in 2017, which is not good. What we know today that we didn't know in 2014 is that there are actually a set of laws, policies, and practices that protect the police from accountability. So California, our biggest state, has a law that says that any investigation of an officer that lasts more than a year can never result in discipline, regardless of the outcome. Things like that are really wild.
Now, there was, of course, a counter Blue Lives Matter, people were saying, with reference to the police, and also this got caught up in the sort of crosshairs of racial politics in America. I mean, is it Black Lives Matter obviously is saying that. Is this primarily a race issue, do you think?
It's certainly a race issue, and that's what the outcomes actually show us, that black people are more likely to be killed disproportionately as a proportion of their population in the United States. And when we say to people is that, like, if there were fires all across your community, you wouldn't say, like, let's hire 50 more firefighters. You'd be like, what is causing the fires? Maybe we need smoke detectors, build the houses differently. Same thing with crime. When there's an increase in crime, the goal isn't, like, more police officers. The goal is, like, what is causing the crime? Mm-hmm. And in so many communities, it's crimes of addiction and crimes of poverty. If you actually want crime to go down, it's like tackle those things. Even if you love the police, the best the police can do is get there after the bad thing has already happened.
I mean, you write about your mother who was an addict in this book and left you effectively. Yep. Why is it that, given that level of social deprivation, some people go one way and other people become math teachers?
Yeah, I think what you find, right, is that like the communities that are the healthiest, the communities that are the safest actually have the most resources, not the most police. And I think about my own story is that, like, my parents didn't grow up in a place that had a lot of resources, right? I'm thankful that there were a lot of adults who, like, provided support and love and care for me that didn't require my mother to be there, but my father raised us and a lot of other adults. But I'm also proud that I was one of many people in the street.
And have you got a note of optimism to end?
Yeah, you know, when we say that the system is broken, some people say, oh no, it was designed to be like that. And my takeaway is that it was designed, and because people made it up, we can make something better.